While the earth was still new, before the first human touched the soil of the planet, there existed a great utopia and two deities charged with keeping the balance between the dark and light. These deities were known as Grimm and Gaia. For all of time, Grimm would take the life from all flora and fauna in existence and return the souls to Gaia, who would give them new life in another form. This was the way of the old world, and for many centuries this kept the universe balanced. As time wore on, however, Grimm began to let his darkened emotions take control. Envious of Gaia's ability to give life, he sought revenge upon her. Grimm found a way to cast out his corrupted emotions, and placed a curse upon the earth in the form of humanity. Gaia found it difficult to replenish life, since these mortals, being born of sin, destroyed far quicker than she could create. Eventually, the sin of humans gave rise to 7 demon princes, who sought power from those who committed one of the 7 sins. In an effort to rebalance the universe, Gaia, too, cast out her emotions, giving humans the ability to judge for themselves what was right and wrong. Soon humanity's kindness gave rise to 7 archangels who could oppose the 7 demon princes. As a result, a great war ensued over the balance of the universe, and for many years Gaia cried, eventually flooding the earth in her sorrow. The death of so many souls all at once gave birth to 4 new deities: Amon, Sandalphon, Abezethibu, and Zedkiel. Amon and Sandalphon, equal in wisdom and power, agreed to maintain the balance of the universe, while Abezethibu and Zadkiel took responsibility to hold the gates between the realms. Grimm and Gaia would stay in the living realm to watch over humanity. Gaia continued to give life to returning souls, and Grimm would cast judgment upon the souls departing. Since Grimm no longer wished to be responsible for only the death of the living, all flora and fauna were given a lifespan, and thus the living realm would forever be known as the mortal realm.
Jade sits at her desk, reviewing her notes from a long day's work, head resting on a hand and her elbow on the desk. She yawns, stretches, and glances at the face clock above the office door. Crap, it's way past closing time. Jade exclaims as she jumps to her feet, causing the chair to tip over behind her. She smacks a hand to her head with a huff, then quickly puts the chair right before shoving the papers into the file cabinet. She drapes her lab coat over the desk chair, grabbing her purse and quickly leaving her office, hurriedly making her way to the front of her laboratory. Just as she is about to shut off the lights, she notices a large wooden crate in the corner of the room. Jade pauses by the door, debating for a moment if she dare risk another scolding from her boss in order to satiate her curiosity. Well, already late, she says aloud with a sigh to the empty room. Setting her belongings on the table near the front door, she wanders over to the crate. No one had told her she'd be expecting a package this evening, so what was this box doing here? Jade groans, her boss's words already ringing in her head, going off another torrent over her needing to pay more attention to what was going on in her own laboratory. She inspects the wooden crate, finding nothing on the outside to give clue as to what it holds within. Looking around the lab, she spots the crowbar and quickly gets to work pulling the nails from the top of the box. As the last nail is pulled, a faint hissing noise can be heard, causing her to pause and briefly consider putting on protection. She decides one peek won't hurt, considering there are no warning labels on the exterior of the crate. She slowly wedges the crowbar under the lid and pushes it up, allowing just enough space for her to see what the contents are. What? Oh no, hang on. Inside sits a large glass tube filled with blue water containing a man. In a panic to free him, Jade forces the lid of the box and climbs inside the crate. What kind of joke is this? Hey, can you hear me? Jade pounds the glass, her eyes searching for a way to open the container. This must be another stupid prank the men in her lab were attempting. They did stupid shit like this all the time out of boredom, a game that always escaped Jade's understanding. Panicked and finding no obvious way to open the capsule, Jade slams the crowbar into the glass until it shatters, causing blue liquid to seep through the wooden crate and over the lab floor. Jade drops the crowbar and shakes the man inside. "Hey, wake up. Come on. Seriously, are you still alive?" "Fuck." Jade grabs the crowbar, trying but failing to force the front of the box open. She drops the crowbar, putting her hands on the sides of her head. "Come on, Jade, think." An idea coming to mind, Jade straddles the capsule. If she couldn't pull him out to perform CPR, then she'd have to try it this way. She is just about to give the breath of life when his eyes jolt open, causing her to lose balance and hit her head on the side of the crate. She rubs her head as she pulls herself up. Oh, hey, are you okay?" "What the hell do you think you're doing? Seriously, what kind of joke is this?" Feeling both frustrated and relieved, Jade has a difficult time figuring out whether to scold the man or rejoice in the fact that he isn't dead. The man slowly rotates his eyes before they fix onto Jade, and she falls silent as he assesses her. The man smiles at them smile and sits up in the capsule. Jade feels her body grow hot, as it is only now dawning on her that this man is completely naked. His smile seems to grow at her fluster. He runs a hand through his shaggy golden blonde hair, causing blue liquid to run over his exposed chest. I'll just wait," Jade stammers, incapable of forming a cohesive sentence. She clumsily pulls herself out of the crate and races to her office to fetch her lab coat. The man glances around and begins to pull himself from the capsule, just finishing the process as Jade returns. Her eyes go wide at the man before her. She never imagined she'd come face to face with a naked man like this. She took in his features as she approached him, keeping her eyes above the waist. He was well-built but slender, with just the faintest hint of muscle. His bright royal blue eyes capture her own, and just as she is holding out the coat, she's suddenly spinning, slipping in the blue liquid. Jade screws her eyes shut, preparing to kiss the floor in front of the most gorgeous man she's ever laid eyes upon, but the fall never comes. She feels a coldness around her, as though she'd been swallowed by the sea. As she slowly opens her eyes, she finds herself embraced by the stranger. He peers down at her through those remarkable blue eyes, and slow smile crawls across his face.
"For me?"
he questions, pointing to the coat. Jade nods furiously as she passes it to him, feeling her body ignite with embarrassment. Jade scrambles from the man's arms and onto the floor, turning her back to him, not wanting to get a face full of whatever is below his waist. "Are you? Thank you. You are okay, right?" Still stumbling over her words, Jade can't seem to find what she wants to say first. She can hear the man gently laughing. Somehow, it made her feel like a child that had been caught doing something foolish. She clears her throat and gets to her feet, fists balled at her sides. With a deep breath, she turns to face the man, ready to scold him, but he's gone, vanished without a sound or trace, leaving behind a wet blue mess of wood and glass. She spins searching for the man, completely flabbergasted and feeling a bit angry. Where in the world could he have gone? With her mouth agape in disbelief, she bolted to the door, hoping to catch the man, but the hall too was completely empty and utterly silent. It was as if the man was never there at all. Jade groans in frustration, looking back to the huge mess on the floor. Great, not only am I here late, but now I've got a huge mess to clean, and what do I have to show for it? Nothing. Fucking nothing. Oog, if I wasn't already in trouble, I am for sure now. I guess I'll find out what the deal is with this box in the morning. Jade complains to the empty room. It had become a bit of a bad habit to talk to herself while she was working, since she never had anyone else to talk to. Who the hell was he anyway? Jade questions to no one as she heads to the lab bathroom to clean herself, only then realizing she had cuts all over from the glass. She rolls her eyes and sighs. Of course, that's what I get for not putting on protection, she says as she drops her head and enters the bathroom. She pulls the med kit from the mirror cabinet and gets to work sterilizing and bandaging the various cuts. As she is placing the last one on her arm, she hears two men talking in the laboratory. Holding her breath, she listens intently, trying to figure out who they are and what they are doing in the lab at this hour.
What the hell happened in here?
Oh shit, you don't think.
I told you to stay with the damn box.
And I told you not to leave it in some random-ass room.
He's not going to be happy about this.
Fuck. It's empty. It fucking broke out.
Okay, here's the plan. We were taking the crate to the vault and the thing just broke out. Give me one of the tools over there. We need to bust up the top, make it look like it broke out.
Jade hears the sound of splitting wood and heavy breathing. Great, more mess for me to clean up. She thinks to herself.
There, looks believable, right?
Yeah, I'd buy it. But what if the boss wants to know why we didn't stop it?
Jade hears a loud crack, and one of the men groan in pain.
The fuck, bro? What's your fucking
Stop your bitching. We need to look roughed up to make this work. Hit me back.
Jade sits against the bathroom door, listening to what she can only assume to be the two men punching each other for a few minutes. The realization that whoever, or as these men are putting it, whatever, she let out of that crate is bad news, slowly crawls up her spine. If those men find her here, they'll know she let him or it out, and by the sound of it, they would likely beat her to death for doing so. Jade swallows hard and crawls to the farthest stall to duck behind the toilet, in case either of them decided to make a bathroom stop. No sooner than she had ducked behind the toilet did both men enter the bathroom.
Yeah, this will do. I'm not sure how strong that thing is, but I think the boss will buy our story. Okay, let's move that mess to the hole and call for backup.
Jade stayed hidden in the stall until she could no longer hear the men in the lab, partly terrified what would happen if she was discovered now and partly grateful she didn't have a mess to clean. Just who was that strange man and why was he in that crate? A question Jade feared she may never have an answer to.